Welcome to the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. Highlights, features, and analysis with men's head coach, Otis Hughley Jr. and women's head coach, Don Thornton. And now, our host, Mr. Ted Dixie.
Good evening and welcome to the Alabama A&M Basketball Review with head coach of the women's team, Don Thornton. Coach had a big victory last week, but I'll let you rap about all that.
I thought that, first off, the atmosphere that we had an opportunity to play in front of was
Sold out, 6,000, almost 7,000.
almost 7,000. It was electrifying. My mom told me it was still people outside trying to get in. So that's just a beautiful thing. I'm so excited about I was so excited about that type of turnout for that game. I understand the importance of a rivalry, but just to really get the love and support that everybody was pouring into the young women, it was phenomenal. Yeah, I was like, this is crazy, but it was beautiful.
Right on. So, give us your way of how you measure success during the season, Coach, and where are you all now?
Well, we wanted to break conference up into quads, 4 quads. Our first quad, we went 3-1. So it's 2 home games, 2 road games, and that single game with that rivalry game that we get versus Bama State is a bonus game for us. And so in our first quad, we technically went 4-1. And so starting off, we'll start our new quad at home. Thankful that we can see what that feels like, and we'll play in spurts of 4, 2 home games, 2 road games, 1 game at a time. But right now, I think that we are exactly where we want to be. We dropped 1 and still kind of feeling that a little bit. But I thought that it humbles you a lot early. It really kind of gets you in to see the things that you need to work on and things that you need to get better at. And that's been the center of our focus.
So if someone said if you were undefeated right now, someone said you're going to the tournament undefeated, that gives you a false sense of security. Is that kind of what you're alluding to?
Well, the target is always on your back. Everybody's gunning for number 1. And we get that. So it's one of those things that where you play, if you don't finish first in conference, because at the end of the day, we want to win a regular season championship. Let's call a spade a spade. We want to win a regular season championship. And if you're not number 1, then seedings really don't matter for the tournament. So, in my opinion, because you've been seeing, you've seen it. You see it every single day. So it doesn't really matter how you finish if you don't finish number 1.
And then your goal of finishing just wherever you are, you do get a chance to play against number 1 and see how that feels, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
The Bulldogs also have those that are playing quite well. We know you can't outshoot you in free throws. We know it can't out-rebound you, can't out-assist you. So where does that leave them for trying to stop the Bulldogs?
Well, if we shoot free throws the way we came out shooting free throws on Saturday the first half, I think we were I think we may have only made 4. We were at 4 for 12 maybe.
Quite uncharacteristic.
Like very much so. And right now we're shooting free throws. That's what we do at the end of practice. But I just wanted to, I guess the main focus is just making sure that we do the things that we need to do in order to take care of business. And really focusing on what we do defensively. We're a defensive coach, defensive-minded staff. And so we want to be able to get stops and create havoc and dictate and disrupt what other teams want to do. So that's what we're going to have to do in order to be successful.
I always ask the question now because you always have to re-recruit your roster every day. Coaches talk about with the transfer portal and the like. But I don't see a lot of your student athletes even being concerned about what happens next other than a game. How do y'all get to that?
Everybody here is really happy about being here. They love it here. And they're in a good space mentally being a part of this program. And when you have young women that's locked in to your program, that's really vested in understanding and what that looks like to lay that foundation in year 1, they want to just go out and focus on the team and focus on the next game, what's important. They're not worrying about what's next. It's what have I done today? What can I contribute to help this team be successful today?
Now, of course, you mentioned mentally. What does Dr. Slay mean to your program?
You know, Dr. Slay has done a phenomenal job as far as being the backbone to what we do.
Wow.
She has an open door policy. Our young women can go in at any time, and it's confidential. But, you know, whatever they go in to talk about, I don't know. I just know when they come out, they ready to go.
Really?
They ready to go, yeah. You know, sometimes, you know how it is. I'm sure you're married. You know, sometimes, you know, we just
man, just say it how you want to say it.
Talk to. I just need somebody to talk to.
Just listen and say it how I want to say it.
Yeah, and then
Right
they'll be
on,
okay.
right on.
And then they'll be okay.
And of course, the training staff. But talk to me about your player development, because your coaching staff, the titles look a lot different than what I'm used to seeing.
Right. Well, you know, we have Erica Sis that transferred in from, not transferred, she came over from Ole Miss. And so that style of basketball, being able, that Power 5 mindset, that Power 5 mentality, she played on that level, she coached on that level, she was a Dobo on that level, she was a head assistant on that level. She brings a lot of that to the table. And that's really important to us, too, as we continue to develop our guards and for them to get better. There's a lot of areas of improvement that we're continuously pushing them to try to strive to get, and we'll continue to demand that from them. You know, Coach Breonna Brown, she's in the Hall of Fame at Jacksonville University, and she played the stretch four for them. So she's constantly trying to work on, she was working on the Courtney Rittenberrys, now the Anaya Palmers, and of course Alicia Wilson in her post-up game. But also, I know the Bulldog fans are excited about the way LaCambria Shakespeare is playing too. So, you know, she's been here for 4 years and haven't really been, you know, being able to produce much for us, but now she's really stepping in, filling up some gaps.
Hans, our cinematographer, reminded me that, I'll put it this way, folks, when parents of our student athletes, the guardians, their family come and visit a game, it's always a big deal, but you had an extra special guest like last week.
Yeah, you know, Coach Prime, he pulled up on us, surprise shell, and I thought that was.
Oh, really?
That was very sweet.
Did she scream, Daddy?
I didn't see the reaction of what she did when she first saw him, but I just know that there was a lot of love shown, a lot of support shown when the game was over. Like, they couldn't get their hands off each other from hugging.
Oh, right on. Thank you so much, Coach Thornton. We will always be there for you. Look at the QR code at the bottom of the screen where you can order tickets, or go ahead and get a season ticket, or make a donation to the program, because, hey, throw them up like that. We got to put some rings with the gleams. We come back, we'll have a chat with Coach Otis Hughley right here on the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. Thank you for watching the Alabama A&M Basketball Review. Right now, we have a person who's been touted as being very important to the student athletes' mental wellness. Please introduce yourself to the Bulldog faithful.
Good Bulldog afternoon. I'm Dr. Carlquista Slay, and I'm the Assistant Athletic Director for Mental Health.
Oh, mental health. Yeah, people tell me I need that a lot. I've heard student athletes say you're very helpful to them. What's your role in that?
So my role really is to provide a safe space for our students to kind of vent some of their issues out, definitely to serve as an advocate for them, a place of referral if they need some more assistance. But really all counseling services, I am just a big supporter for the student athletes and their mental wellness.
Now, students, I remember when I was in college, you have all kinds of issues. Is there a long line?
Well, you know, we all have our issues, of course.
Yeah. Some people got a whole subscription.
Yeah, some have more than others. But believe it or not, even though we're dealing with student athletes, and my role is primarily for the student athletes here to make sure that they stay mentally healthy, believe it or not, their issues are not related to their sports. A lot of times it is really accounted to some stress, transition to, you know, new roles, new geographical area, coming from high school to college.
Growing up, huh?
Just growing up. So definitely anxiety, depression, navigating relationships is a really big one as well. And so all of those things, you know, if they are stressing the students out, can really affect how they perform in their sport, but their issues typically are not sports related.
I heard that, and thank you so much for that. So let's role play a bit, but not really.
Okay.
So I recently lost my father.
Okay.
Several other friends have lost relatives. We've had several tragedies here
Absolutely.
on campus. How do you grieve? What's that like? What's supposed to do?
And first, I'd like to say my condolences on your father. But to say for any of you all that have lost someone, there is no wrong or right way to grieve. And I know typically people have an expectation of what it is supposed to look like, but there is no right or wrong way. And grief does come in several different stages. We go through this process of denial, bargaining, all the way to acceptance. And it's not linear. You know, you can feel good one day and then the next day, you know, you're having a bad moment. Something can trigger a thought and now we're kind of back into, you know, a space where we're tearful, And so there's no wrong or right. So I always encourage people to be patient with themselves and to be patient and give other people grace when they know they have lost someone, because everybody does it a little differently.
Thank you for that, Doc.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else that you would like to tell the people? Because we love talking to you. I see why you are like mad cool. I love talking to you. What else can we do?
Well, I mean, I will like to tell you all that, you know, there's a lot of stigma surrounding mental health. But
you're right, especially in our community.
Absolutely, but mental health is health, and we want to make sure that we keep our student athletes healthy. So even if you just have some minor issues, you're stressed out about work, school, it's always good to reach out and talk to somebody, even having an unbiased opinion, you know,
right, I love
or
that.
Some unbiased information, because we can talk to our friends, and they may gas us up.
Right. Okay.
And we get into some trouble, but it is always good to have somebody that is going to give you some unbiased information that can actually support where you're trying to go with your life.
Thank you so much. And
you are welcome.
Is there a number somewhere we could call? Look at the bottom of the screen. If we don't have it, we will post a number for your mental health. Take advantage of it, please.
Absolutely. For the student athletes within the department, I can be reached at 256-836-0468 or by email at carlquista.slay@aamu.edu. If you are a part of the general student body, you can reach out to Health and Counseling Services at 256-372-5800.
Right on. Thank you so much, Doc.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
Thank
right
you.
On. We'll be back with more inspirational and important interviews, because that's what we do. It's Martin Luther King month to me, so we got to take care of ourselves, because someone told me once, where your mind is open.
That's right.
Welcome to the Alabama A&M Basketball Review with head coach Otis Hughley. I'm Ted Dixie, your host. I don't say that often enough, and some people are like, who's the guy on TV? Anyway, Coach, first time we've talked this year. At the end of last season, you were talking about your roster and what it was going to look like this year. However, you had one student athlete go pro who we're going to count on this year, and you had other changes. Tell us about that and how we got the roster we have now.
Well, by attrition, we lost Amari Green, who's gone pro, Cam Tucker, who's gone pro, EJ, who's gone pro, but they're playing locally with the semi-pro team here, so they can finish school. And then you got Darius, who played last year, about 6'9", played the 4. He's gone. So we got a whole new unit again.
Right. Everybody now with the transfer portal, you have to recruit your roster every day?
Yeah, you got to re-recruit them. It's not just recruiting, which is the lifeblood of basketball. It's retention. You got to retain them and re-recruit them. So, and that's every year, because the other conferences look at us like Walmart. They can come get players at a discount with experience that's played Division I basketball. So we train them up, we get them ready, and they go. So it's real important that we understand that we at the starting gate or the starting position or in the process of trying to get these kids to where in, year out, this thing just keeps going. And we're almost there. We just we had to start 2 freshmen the other day and a sophomore, and played against Alabama State. Year before, the score was, double digits. This year we had a chance to win. Go to Jackson State, triple overtime.
Right.
3 chances to win with those same people. So we're doing it. We're getting closer to the goal. Just hadn't turned the corner quite yet, and we're right there.
How's NIL affecting the Southwestern Athletic Conference? Because a lot of people think that HBCU sports are not in the NIL game. Certainly they are.
Absolutely, they are. We're just not, and that's our goal. And you got Jackson State, Southern, Texas Southern, Prairie View, just to name a few. There may be others. I know Alabama State might be doing it. So we got the NIL barrier to clear, as well as the transfer barrier to clear. They can get kids in school that we can't. But you continue to try to find the right kids. As a result, we got to go young.
Okay.
And when you go young, 18 and 19 years old, like Chad Moody, playing against 24, 25-year-old men. So 5th-year guys. Alabama State's got the oldest team in the league right now. No, for real. We got one of the younger teams in the league. And next year will be the first time we return everybody. We have a chance to return everybody, all starters. So, and that's hadn't happened since I've been here. There's only been 4 teams that go to the Final Four the past 2 years, and we're one of them. And Bethune-Cookman and Jackson State had to alternate those 2 years. Grambling, Texas Southern, and us, we're the only 3 teams that consistently went to the Final Four the past 2 years.
Coach, we talked about the young roster you've had and how close you're getting, one of only 4 teams in the conference to go to the Final Four of the tournament. How many years in a row?
2 years.
2 years in a row, you're in there, even with the roster changes. Give us those, because we haven't talked to you yet this season, give us a little bit of a preview for those who aren't caught up yet and an update of where you are.
Well, we got a freshman playing the 1 and a sophomore playing the 4. The only returning starter is number 22, who's got some really good experience. Then, of course, you got Zero, who's taken the next step since last year. He just got to take that step on the other end of the floor. He's taking it offensively, but defensively, he hadn't done that. Then you got the new kid, number 7, Selu Say. Yeah, Selu Say. Call him Lou. He's trying to take some steps, but every game he's running into some real tough plays that cost us because he's still trying to learn how to play at this level. Then you got a bench, kid from Taiwan. You got London Riley. You got
Hold on, Taiwan.
Yeah.
Some of y'all didn't know that. Taiwan, tell us about the kid from Taiwan and how you got him to Alabama A&M University.
1 year. Well, I coached professionally in Taiwan and their national team, both men and women. So he was in elementary school when I was their national team coach.
Right on.
And we were pretty popular and won a gold medal. So he sort of knew who we were and, you know, who I was. And my team was in the finals over there in the pro league. In fact, DeMarcus Cousins just won a championship over there.
That's your guy from high school.
Yeah, one of my former players. So there's some history there. So it wasn't hard for me to find a player. I was just waiting for the right one that could play at this
And
level.
really, everyone wants to come to America to play ball
That's
because
right.
it's different here.
Want that education too.
Right on.
And he's a really good student. He came from the New England prep school area, and those are really tough to get in.
Andover.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. So we're blessed to have this kid trying to learn his way. Missed a few games because we had to get his eligibility straight, but now it's all straight, and
Right on.
he's only been back several games.
And now, Coach, this is almost the midway point of the season. Getting ready for the big push. You said in your practice pregame that you expect to be in the conference tournament because you've been there every year you've been on campus.
Right. Well, we can't settle for less than winning. You know it's a process. You can't skip any steps in it. But we have to go through the high school route. And the high school route in today's world, in today's basketball economy, that's a tough road. It's a tough road because they're playing against much older, more experienced people. But at some point, you're going to turn that around if you can keep kids here. And thus far, we've done that. We've kept kids here. We just about to possibly turn the corner here soon. Last 2 years did the same thing.
Right.
People give up on us. They talk crazy. They want to, say this and say that, and then we all of a sudden turn the corner. You don't hear nothing.
Right.
And then when you start winning, they want to cheer. That's okay. That's part of it. I know what this business is like. I've been doing it around the world in 5 continents, and I've always won. So it doesn't really bother me, that part. But they need to understand those kids hear what they say. Those kids read what they say. You got to be sensitive to our children. I don't care what they think about me, but I do care how they treat these kids. These are student athletes, and these student athletes hear everything they say. They got to be real mindful of that and support their words that hurt and their words that heal. We need words that heal these kids. I don't care what you say about me, but these kids take to heart what you say about them and their team.
What helps you, or what Dr. Slade we've talked to earlier, she's a big help to you?
Oh yeah, she helps in a lot of ways. Like when Van played, it was big time.
Go Fenway.
Yeah, it was win. That's all we know how to do is win. Then in between, when Van left, 2004, 2005, nobody really wanted to talk about basketball, didn't say anything. You go from not talking about it, not being interested, can't fill up Elmore, to why y'all not winning? Y'all should have won that game. What happened in between? You kids not gonna snap your finger, that's gonna happen overnight.
No, not turnkey.
That's right, but it's headed that direction.
That's right.
Our president and our AD, they trying to take this thing to a whole nother level. And I think they're on to it and they're doing it.
We appreciate that, Coach, and we thank you so much for talking about that and getting us caught up. Now, what can we do to help you?
Well, we need NIL, we need an academic person. So if there's somebody out there that can help us, find someone that's willing to be on the hill and pour their lives into these students, that'll be awesome. Because I know our AD and them are looking for those people.
Right.
Yeah, they're looking for those people, and we just got to find some people to do that. NIL be huge, because now we can keep Chad Moody. Now we can keep AC Bryant. We can keep Blau. We can keep these kids.
Might keep somebody local at home.
Exactly. Or somebody that's local that went off. Coming back home.
Come on. Right.
So, but you got to build something they want to come back to. You got to build something they want to, and now we've gotten to that point where there's some real interest.
Right.
What was it? We exceeded last year's crowd.
6,700, almost 7,000.
Wow.
I'll sell it till we can't fit no more.
That's right. So it was huge.
Well, Coach, we thank you for that. But you got a closing word. Go ahead.
No, thank you for the support. Continue to really support these kids, and everything you say, do, demonstrate your support and your love to these kids in every asset, on every platform.
Right.
Because they read everything.
They do.
They don't look at TV, but they look at social platforms.
You're right about that. You're right about that. Thank you so much, Coach. Hey, folks, the QR code at the bottom of the screen is where you can get tickets and all the information about Alabama A&M sports at AAMUsports.com, or just go to the App Store, to the Play Store, and go get the AAMU Sports app. Go right to it, skip the internet. So for Coach Hughley, for Coach Thornton, I'm Ted Dixie. Thank you so much for watching the Alabama A&M Basketball Review.